Welcome to Turtle Talk. This is Morgan's story and the family's journey. I'm Craig and
I'm Michelle. Welcome.
welcome to Morgan's story.
We call it Turtle Talk. We're telling Morgan's story and the family journey. And you are a huge part of Morgan's story and still remain a huge part of Morgan's story. So for that, we're very grateful. We met here at the rehab hospital and you were in church.
Right, we were.
And what came to your mind when we were in church? What drew you to Morgan?
Well, I was a volunteer at the time. I was in a bad accident in 2006. I was in hospital for 4.5 months. And when I got back, I thought that I should be back. Because my rehab done so much. And so I came back, and what they were having to do, talk to folks that were in car accidents similar to mine. And so
So tell us a little about your car accident. What happened to you?
I'm a diabetic, didn't know it at the time. And the paramedics, I think my sugar level was like 476. And I passed out. I went through the stoplight and was hit by a semi. And I broke my neck and fractured my jaw. I broke 9 teeth off, broke my right shoulder, broke the ribs on my left side, my left leg. And I had 2 collapsed lungs, and then I went too long without breathing. So I ended up with a traumatic brain injury.
Oh my goodness, Mike. That's quite an accident to live through.
Oh, it was. They told my brother and my dad that I just had a very small chance to survive. And the doctors told them, even if I woke up out of my coma, I probably would be gone.
And look at you now.
Yeah.
See? It's a God thing, isn't it?
It is.
So fast forward and you're volunteering at the rehab hospital and you're visiting with other car accident, brain injury survivors, and you see us in church. And what goes through your mind?
Well, I heard you guys visiting behind me, and as much as I shouldn't listen, I always have my ears open. And I felt so bad about what you were saying behind me. So when church was over that day, I had introduced myself, and I said, my name's Mike Pitts, and I'm a volunteer here. And I was involved. I was a patient. And if you ever need me to come up just to be friends, and to come up and talk to you every day so you've got somebody to talk to here in town while you're here. And you told me to come on up, told me Morgan's story.
Yeah, I did.
It just kind of went on from there.
I remember you saying that you had just finished with another family that you were helping, and they had been discharged, and then you weren't sure if you were going to take on another family, and then you saw us.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, that's pretty amazing that you were drawn to us and to Morgan, and that's kind of a recurring theme in all of Morgan's stories, how people are drawn to her. So fast forwarding a little bit, so you would come every evening to Morgan's room and sit with her.
I would.
So Dad and I could go get a groceries or get food or just
go out,
go cry.
just have some personal time, some time away, so you and he could just talk things over and see what the next decision.
That was a tough time. Sorry, my phone's going on. What were some of the things that you and Morgan did when you were sitting with her?
I would just sit with Morgan, and I always brought my Catholic prayer book. And when she was awake, I would tell her everything that we were going to do. I said, we're going to pray now. We prayed so many Our Fathers and so many Hail Marys and went through the prayer book and everything. And one of the wildest things, when she woke up, we were praying, and it was in a dark room so she could sleep. And there was a bright light in the corner of the room. And she would open her eyes, and she would talk and point at that bright light. And I would go up there. I didn't know where it was coming from, so I would try to put my hand in front of it to see where the beam of light was coming from, and there wasn't anything. It was just there.
There was nothing there. Because I experienced that with her too. Every now and then this big beam of white light would be there, and normally her head was fixed
Yep.
to the left, and this was up in the right corner.
Yep.
So her head that was kind of locked in here would all of a sudden be here and staring up, and there was no reason for that light.
Nah, there wasn't.
And when you say talk, she wasn't verbal at the time, but
No.
her mouth would
Yeah.
move, and her lips would quiver, and she'd make little sounds.
Yes.
You know, and to you and me, that's talking,
Yep.
because that's how it started with her.
Yep.
You know, yeah, and that was a beautiful moment, but it happened more than once.
Oh, yes, it happened quite often.
And that always made me think that there was angels.
Well, Christian, and yes, I believe in miracles, and I believe in angels. I believe in, and to me, yes.
That
Let's
was
say-
that was angels, because you could feel it. There was always something. You can't label it. You can't put your finger on it, but there was something. Like,
Morgan has always been special. I mean, from the time I first met her laying in the bed that night, you could just feel that something was happening. What? I don't know.
I still
But-
don't know, but it's still there.
Yes.
Do you still feel that
I
every
do.
time you see
I
her?
do.
Yes. It's I don't know. It's crazy, because people tell us all the time how drawn to her they are, and they can't explain it. They just say we're just drawn to her. We don't know why, but there's just something about Morgan.
There is.
And I to her dad and I, she's always been special, but every parent's child is special to them. So for us, it's humbling, but it's also pretty amazing that people think this, and tell us this about Morgan, because I don't know, it's just heartwarming, and
I don't know. I just remember you guys coming back, whether I seen you that night or the next day after the nursing staff took over and I left. And you'd always ask me, well, what did you guys do last night? Well, we had a time. Sat beside her bed and we prayed together, and she was talking to what I think was angels. And,
and you'd show her pictures of Spinelli,
yep,
the puppy.
Yep.
Yep. Talk about Spinelli.
Yep,
I
talk
still
about
show her
Spinelli.
pictures of Spinelli whenever you post them on your Facebook. I always show her that, and I love it, because we have pictures of everyone that means something to us and to her, hanging in her room and stuff. And I'm always like, Morgan, there's Mike, and I'll point out your
Yep.
picture, and she starts smiling ear to ear.
Yep.
Even now when she sees you.
well, and when I first introduced myself, I said, this is Mike from church.
Yep.
And so whenever I see her now, I say, oh, this is Mike from church. And it seems like
She does recognize you, yeah. And I'll say, are you going to be nice to Mike today? And she'll get this little grin on her face, because I think she really enjoys teasing you.
Oh, I'm sure she does. Yeah, everybody else does. She probably should.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was we were very blessed that you had come into our life, and through you we met Deborah
Yep.
and Chief, her
Yep,
dad,
Chief.
and and recently he passed, which I'm very sorry for, my friend. Unfortunately the circle of life gets us all at some point,
It
but
does. It does.
and I'm very thankful that you were spared, and I believe you were spared in your accident and saved and healed, so you can be an inspiration to others, and you truly have been an inspiration to us.
I try to be with the people. I know that the part that I play is just real tiny. modern medicine and God is what I just, try to help out just wherever I can.
Right. But, we've met a lot of people with brain injuries. And I guess when you meet someone with a brain injury and they're further along in their recovery than your person is, it gives you something to look forward to or something to, I hate to say compare because I've done that and I've been devastated. We met this one kid and he was a year and a half out from his brain injury and he's walking and talking and life is normal and I that year and a half mark came for Morgan and I was just devastated that she wasn't like him.
Every single one of them.
Every brain injury is different. Every brain injury is different. But every brain injury can give you hope. And the thing is we got to remember not to compare, but Mike, you have been such an inspiration and such a source of hope for us with Morgan that I feel like Morgan's not the special one. It's all the people around us that are the special ones bringing God and healing to her. I feel you brought a big source of healing. Mary and Bob brought a big source of healing, and Sean and Elizabeth and Shane and Ellen and Father Steele.
God is you, Morgan. Bring.
Looking back,
She's such a special person.
when we come to town and we all go out for dinner, it's family dinner. It is. We're all family. And sometimes everybody's there and sometimes not everybody's there. But I just think you guys are all people that we would have never met had this not happened. And I'm so thankful. I can't imagine our lives without all of you in it, especially you, Mike,
I'm so thankful for you guys too. Even after you guys left, each time that you've came back, you've always called me. You've made me a friend. We became friends, and we're just always.
Oh, no, we're family. You're family now. You're stuck with us. You can't get rid of us at this
I wouldn't
point.
say stuck with you. I'd say you're stuck with me.
No, but I love I just love the story, and you were always such a good listener, even for me in my weakest moments. You reminded me that to have faith, and you reminded me how far you had come, and
Yeah.
you'd tell me stories about the struggles you went through. Like when you were in the second rehab hospital that you were in Omaha.
Quality living.
They were telling you you'd have to wait for therapy. And what did you do?
I had this wonderful, wonderful head nurse. She was an African-American nurse, and I went up to her and I said, I need you to get me up at 4:30 in the morning so I can walk around house 5 until time for therapy. She said, you're crazy. Why would you want to do that? I said, because it's not always the therapy that you receive because you only have therapy once or twice a day.
Right,
I said, that's not going to get me better.
right.
So get me up and then come get me when it's time for breakfast, and then I'll start therapy. And I don't know, I just felt that I needed more.
You needed more. Yeah, and I feel that with Morgan too. Like you're right. A couple hours a day of therapy is not enough. And I like 6 weeks of therapy is not enough. 6 months of therapy is not enough. It's a lifelong therapy.
The doctors told me that's why my doctor still has me working in these puzzle books at night to
Yep.
get all the points in my brain. He said once you have a traumatic brain injury for life, and he said that you either have to lose or use everything, or you're going to lose it.
Right. We recently just got Morgan an eye gaze device where she can look at it and read words. She can say sentences, through the computer to people. And then she can play games, which is good for her eyes and her brain connections and
Yep.
stuff. And you're right. I see a difference in her when she's playing these games or saying stuff. And of course, we gave her a naughty page on her on her device. So she has, like a medical page. So
Yeah.
she can look at that and then it'll open it up and she can say, I have to go to the bathroom, or my head hurts, or my tummy hurts, or, a variety of things. But then she has a naughty page that she can go to. So when people are being mean to her, she can say, get out of my bubble, leave me alone. I don't like you, because she doesn't have to like everyone.
Well, if you think that's not.
Well,
I
there's
woke
a few others we're not going to talk about.
I woke up from my brain injury. I don't need a naughty page. I was a bad boy for a while.
But I think that comes, doctors had said, with the brain injuries, for some reason that vocabulary comes out loud and clear.
Well, it did. I couldn't talk yet, but those words came out pretty good.
But, and it's funny because the naughty page is the one that she tries to jump to the fastest. And she'll just sit there and say naughty word after naughty word after naughty word. And someone had said, well, why are you giving her that page? And I'm like, well, why wouldn't we?
It's starting to trigger the
If
language.
it's triggering something and getting her eyes moving, her brain connecting, and she's using the words appropriately in appropriate sentences, in appropriate situations. So it's comical. It is very comical to watch her
I'll bet it is.
gaining this independence, So I'm thankful that you came to us and that you introduced yourself.
I'm thankful that I first. It was a blessing on my part to be able to work with Morgan and work.
And you'd come and you'd sit with us in church,
Yep.
and you'd hold Morgan's hand, and they were all just very small, sweet moments that were just so touching to this mama's heart.
It was to me too. Personal feelings is just a huge part of everything.
Yeah. And her injury didn't, it really hurt her, but it hurt the family too. And I birthed this child and
Yeah.
I can't fix her.
When I first got hurt, I was in a coma for 30 years in the hospital before. I didn't know a whole lot of what was going on in the hospital. But my dad and my brother was going through everything. My dad drove from Grand Island, Nebraska to Lincoln, 100 miles each way every day to see me.
That's a parent dedication, isn't it?
They going to pass away anytime, so every single day.
Yeah, we haven't left her alone since the day this happened. And I can't imagine leaving her alone either. So in the moments that we do have to leave her alone, I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for other people like you who have come to just give us that reprieve for that short moment, because it gets tough.
Yeah, I know. And if you guys ever come to town, if you need to
I
do
know.
something, I'll stay here
I
in a
know.
room with her, and you guys take off, go have dinner, meetings, whatever you need to do, come back.
Yep.
I'll still be
See,
here.
everybody, this is the mic. That is the mic that I met.
We'll still be here when you get back. And that'll give you and Tom a chance to get away.
Sounds like I just love it. And I think Morgan has really, because of you and praying with her every night, when I pray with her, it just brings such smiles to her face.
Mm-hmm.
So I can only imagine that is stemmed back to you when she couldn't show a whole lot of expression. And now when I say, okay, Morgan, let's pray our rosary, and she just gets this big smile on her face. And I know that had to come from somewhere.
I've often wondered since the time that I was with Morgan that she couldn't really communicate with me.
Right.
I was always wondering if Jesus and angels couldn't communicate with her, if they weren't communicating back and forth, and I wasn't knowing anything about it.
Yeah. Because she gets so happy and so excited when we pray and going to church.
Mhm.
She gets so happy and excited in church. And now that we're getting more vocal, the other day she was like, making all kinds of
Yeah.
noise during church. And people start looking. And I just, you know what? Instead of being embarrassed, I just smile and say, that's my girl. You know, that's the sounds we've been waiting for. These are the words coming, you know. And it, I, there's just, I think church and prayers have become like her safety net almost. Like it's the place of greatest joy and greatest comfort for her, because when I see her frazzled and she's getting anxious and uptight about stuff, I'm like, hey, baby, should we just pray? And then she just smiles and the whole demeanor changes. And I remember that, like, you would come into the room, hey, Morgan, it's Mike from church.
Yeah.
And she'd just calm down. You know, she'd be having a tough day and therapy was tough. And she'd just relax. I'd watch her relax with you. So I really think that your prayers and your time with her was a great source of comfort and calm for.
I'm glad. It always seemed like it.
It did. It really did. And the angel story is just, I tell people about that story and they're just kind of look at me in disbelief, but it happened.
Yeah.
It happened multiple times.
Yeah.
It was, like I said, that was pretty amazing. And I remember like one night her and I were sitting there and I was dozing off and, you know, I open my eyes and I see it and her lips are moving and quivering and she's making sound. And I'm just watching her and I wanted to reach for my phone to record it. But if you change the status quo, everything just
Yeah.
quit, you know, and wow, those were some pretty amazing moments with her.
You know, when you're in everyday life on earth down here, things are a lot different. But when you sit with somebody that was hurt, that is Morgan. There's miraculous things in that. When you just sit with her, there's nobody else in there.
Yep. Yep. You know, I even feel that I've made her room at home very cozy and very spiritual for her. You know, we've got her crucifix, we've got her rosaries, we've got a picture of Deacon Jack, you know, we've got a picture of her friends, all the comfort things. But it's just warm and cozy and inviting. And, you know, I just think that you combine all of that serenity stuff and then you bring in the prayer with it. It's just such a great place. And, you know, we used to have to give her lots of sleep aids to help her sleep. And now, you know, a little bit of prayer time, a little bit of solitude in this beautiful, serene environment and some prayers, and she sleeps like a baby. And it's just,
I found that with patients that I've worked with, may not be able to communicate that well with, I think, better than the angel.
I do too. I do too. Well, Mike, thank you for being on our show.
My pleasure.
Thank you for being my friend.
Always.
And thank you for loving my Morgan as much as you do.
Always. Thank
God
you.
bless you, Mike.
Thank you.
That was good. Thank you for doing this with me.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate it. We love hearing from you guys, so keep the comments and the questions coming for us.
Yes. Love the questions. Please subscribe. Go to www.givemorgan.org or visit me at my real estate website, realtorcraigbertrand.com. And we always want your questions, comments, like, and share wherever you listen or watch.
Thank you.
Thank you.